Abraham Lincoln. We know him as the president who saved the Union and freed the enslaved. But who was he as a person? What made his mind unique? Today we explore the psychology and personality of one of history's most fascinating leaders, not through his achievements, but through how he thought, felt, and saw the world. Lincoln was a deep thinker. While other politicians spoke quickly and confidently, Lincoln would pause, sometimes for long moments, before answering questions. He needed time to think things through completely. He loved being alone with his thoughts. His law partner William Herndon said Lincoln could sit in their office for hours, staring out the window, lost in thought. This wasn't laziness, it was how his mind worked. Lincoln processed information slowly and carefully. He was what we'd call today an introvert. Large social gatherings drained him. He preferred small conversations or solitude with a book. Shakespeare was his favorite. He could recite long passages from memory. Reading helped him understand human nature and gave him a way to explore emotions safely. Lincoln had an incredible memory. Once he read something or heard a story, he rarely forgot it. This helped him in law and politics, but it also meant he remembered every criticism, every failure, every painful moment. If you met Lincoln, the first thing you'd notice was his humor. He told jokes constantly, funny stories, clever observations, self-deprecating remarks about his appearance. He once said, "I laugh because I must not cry." This was Lincoln's psychological defense mechanism. When things got difficult, and they often did, he used humor to cope. During the Civil War, when generals failed or battles were lost, Lincoln would tell a funny story. His cabinet sometimes found it inappropriate, but Lincoln needed it to function. He was also deeply self-aware. He knew he wasn't handsome. He knew he came from poverty. He knew he had little formal education. But instead of hiding these facts, he joked about them openly. This honesty made people trust him. Lincoln had what psychologists call emotional intelligence. He could read people's feelings and motivations accurately. He knew when to push and when to wait. He understood that people rarely change their minds through argument, so he told stories instead, letting people reach conclusions on their own. What made Lincoln's mind truly special was its flexibility. Most people see issues as black or white, right or wrong. Lincoln saw shades of gray. He could hold two opposing ideas in his mind at the same time and think clearly about both. For example, he personally hated slavery, but he understood that abolishing it immediately might destroy the Union. So he moved carefully, step by step, waiting for the right moment. This wasn't weakness, it was strategic thinking. Lincoln changed his mind when evidence changed. Many leaders stick to their first opinion out of pride. Lincoln admitted mistakes freely. He once wrote to a general, "I now wish to make a personal acknowledgement that you were right and I was wrong." He was humble about his intelligence. Despite being brilliant, he never talked down to people. He explained complex ideas in simple language that anyone could understand. The Gettysburg Address, one of history's greatest speeches, uses mostly one-syllable words. Lincoln also had enormous patience. He could tolerate incompetent generals, difficult cabinet members, and constant criticism without lashing out. He focused on the long-term goal rather than short-term frustrations. Perhaps Lincoln's greatest personality trait was empathy. He felt other people suffering deeply. When he saw enslaved people in chains, he didn't just think it was wrong, he felt their pain personally. This emotional connection drove his moral convictions. He was slow to anger and quick to forgive. After the Civil War, he wanted to heal the nation, not punish the South. With malice toward none, with charity for all, he said. This wasn't political strategy, it was who he was. Lincoln had a strong sense of purpose. He believed his life had meaning beyond himself. Whether you call it destiny, fate, or simply duty, Lincoln felt he was meant to preserve the Union and end slavery. This sense of mission gave him strength during impossible times. He accepted that he couldn't control everything. When things went wrong, he didn't waste energy on blame or regret. He simply asked, "What do we do next?" This practical mindset kept him moving forward when others would have given up. Abraham Lincoln's mind was a remarkable instrument, thoughtful yet decisive, humble yet confident, flexible yet principled. He was an introvert who became a leader, a joker who carried serious burdens, a simple man who grasped complex truths. His personality wasn't perfect, but it was authentic, compassionate, and wise. Lincoln succeeded not because he had all the answers, but because he asked the right questions, of others, of circumstances, and most importantly of himself.